Hello everyone, it is your suburban gardener permaculture style guy here, and we're going to look at the greenhouse today. The greenhouse as a frame, I guess, the summer skin of the greenhouse. You can see I put some of that woven ground cover on the front of the greenhouse. There's a good reason for that. Right now we're being blessed with a wonderful cloud, but that ain't gonna be there very long, and we'll get to see the main reason. The angles are right, even though it doesn't look like it is. All this foliage is getting lit up. The thing I'm trying to protect is these black pots. I've got the infrared temperature gun here, and we can play around. Now that the sun isn't hitting it, it's only like 102. When the sun's hitting it again here in a minute, it gets up to 130 something right here, 150 right here. Probably still a little warmer. Oh wow, the sun being off of it really drops the temperature rapidly. That's good. But it's coming back. Here she comes. What you're going to see is in the shade, these are usually in the low 100s range, right? So 102. And you can see the sun starting to come out again right now. Whenever the sun was out and hitting it, you could come up just to this thinner plastic that's in the direct sunlight and get a 10 to 12 degree temperature difference. Again, the sun's just now coming back out. It'll probably start to climb just with the sun doing that. But there was a 20-30 degree temperature difference a few minutes ago. See, oh Lord have mercy, here we go. 130, look at there, it jumped that fast. 136, 138, it gets all up to the 150s on by these poles. And it just takes seconds, right, of direct sunlight. Whew. All right, these pots were getting 130, okay? All this face of these pots was in the sun, just cooking. It's cooking all the roots in the front. I've been cautious of that this year in general, knowing I was putting so much extra thought into the citrus. I'm really trying hard. I'm gonna make a heck of a citrus gardener. I'm bound and determined and I'm putting a lot of effort into it. So my thought process is these big black pots sit here and cook, and this tree in particular is suffering. You see all the yellowing? I promise you it's not from lack of fertilizer. I've added compost to these three, that one, this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. These three do need to be repotted. They're not as full of dirt as they look. They've sunk down in this really poor soil that we got when we bought them. That was what was at Home Depot. And we filled it up with them, and it was basically just shredded wood chips, like wood bark. It wasn't good. It wasn't soil at all. It was just cheap mess. And with enough fertilizer, you can make anything grow. And it broke that stuff down, and so they sunk down a lot. And I filled them back up with compost, took out all the leaves, recomposted them, and fertilized them some more. So I got growth and everything. I got fruit, all that. That's wonderful, but this plant's still struggling. And one of the reasons I do believe is too much sunlight. It's cooking out here, and then the soil in the front is baking. I'd already had been babying the avocado, keeping it to the back, keeping it to where it's always in everybody else's shadows, right? The avocado is rewarding me for that. You can tell. I've got everything kind of readjusted as I put down some new plastic. As you can see, I'm plasticking out at the bottom of the greenhouse area because I'm not going to sit here and keep fighting these weeds all year. And they don't look pretty, they don't look perfect. I don't care. It's not done. We'll get it looking how it's going to look, and then that'll be that. But the avocado has been babied and kept in the shadows of everyone else, and that's a huge amount of growth, guys. I mean, I have a video here from just earlier in the year, say like January or February. These were nowhere near this big. This thing was a little thing with like 2 sticks or 3 sticks on it, and now it's this monster. But I've been keeping it cool. I've been keeping the roots cool. It's doing better. This guy too has also been in the shadow. The pot has always been in the shadows. It's responding. It was all the way down here. All this is right here. All that's new growth. Okay, so you see the old tops. You see the old contour of the plant. All that's new. Well, it's doing really well. It's doing better than some of these other ones, right? Why? Well, it's been repotted just like they have, and I think is the roots being cooler. So that's my theory. That's what I'm going off of. I am babying the mess out of these. So that's still the original T-post I had created when I first put this cheap greenhouse together. Again, it was 116 bucks on Wayfair, and there's some controversies about Wayfair right now, but be that as it may, that's the situation. That's where I got them, 116 bucks. Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to go ahead and get another one. We're thinking about expanding this away one more, because we're really liking doing citrus. Citrus is very rewarding. Of all the trees we've dealt with, and even in pots, they're showing us some real rewarding traits. So we're going to probably expand, and it's going to be interesting. I've been looking up some of my varieties, the Miho and whatever this guy was. I can't remember the name, but this one is interesting. even though it's my smallest plant, this is supposed to be the world's largest Satsuma, it turns out. These things were crossbred maybe a couple hundred years ago with a pomelo or pomelo, that grapefruit relative, a sweeter version of a grapefruit. Well, this is crossbred a Mandarin. Somebody took the midget and bred it with the giant, if you see what I'm saying. And they came out with these, and nobody really knew that until they got into DNA, I guess. They thought it was just the largest Mandarin, but apparently there was some crossbreeding with the pomelo or pomelo, whatever it is. So that's an interesting. I didn't even know that about this plant I bought. It was what I had at Home Depot. I was like, I need citrus. There's citrus. I want it. I'm getting it. So these are going to probably get in my container, not growing well because this tree has never really thrived yet. These are not going to get that big. They'll probably get maybe orange sized or probably big lemon sized. But let's say when the tree is flourishing and it's really doing well, these things can get almost up, up to the size of a grapefruit almost. And certainly the size of a navel orange, right? So the navel oranges are still looking okay. I've been liking that one from the beginning. That's just been this big orange from the very beginning. The navel orange. And yeah, and this one, the Miho, what was it bred with? It's one's a Satsuma, one's a Mandarin. Y'all have to look up Wikipedia. Nobody apparently knows, but Mandarins are the varieties, or the Satsuma is one way or the other. And this one is another one. It's going to be probably a little bigger. I wanted cuties, and I didn't know whenever I was getting these, and it didn't matter because I was getting what they had. This was the only other selections they had of citrus. What I'm looking for is clementines. The cuties that they sell at the store, those are called clementines when you're trying to buy them. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Some other things, variegated Eureka lemon. That looks really neat. Yellow or red and yellow and green striped lemon that's got pink flesh. It's really interesting. It's a Eureka lemon, just like a genetic weird one-off of them or something. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. The sun is really out right now. I mean, anywhere 156. Can y'all see that? I mean, okay. 159, 161, 162. I'll let go of the trigger. We'll grab the trigger. 161. I'm just holding the trigger down. Now, when the sun goes down, it's going to change. But, this is in the dappled shade right there at 110. There's another thing I was going to show you. This little patch is in the shade cloth. It's like 109, 110. But the parts that are in the very front are only like 103, 102. So the full shade cloth, like 110, 108. And then this stuff was like, you saw, like 160. And just as soon as the sun comes off of it, it's down to 120, 113. It's crazy how intense the sun is. And I hope this will improve our results. And follow along. We'll be updating about this, I'm sure, soon. All right, talk to you later.